When you talk about hope in young people, I think about as much as horrible as social media can be.
Yeah.
I think about there are good things about social media.
Absolutely.
I think about young people who didn't have voices. Like, for example, I think about those sixth graders in Oregon, right? And their awareness. And it makes me think about, back in, 40s, 50s, 60s, white kids, even before then, white kids, children of Klan members who didn't necessarily buy into that philosophy, but they didn't have a voice.
That's right.
So if they disagreed, they still had to keep their mouths shut. And I think about social media, and I think about how all these kids are not just exposed to what other kids are going through, but they have a voice.
That's right.
And their voices are very loud.
Yeah.
And, so sometimes we forget about that.
True.
Like there is that good, because you see that there are young people who get it.
Absolutely.
And there are young people who care.
They absolutely do. And that was the other thing that showed up, was that, like I said, the group of kids, I was with them 50 minutes and they were ready to just tell me what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right. They were ready to go. They just, when they know better, they can do better. And I think you're absolutely right. There are plenty of them that are there. I think we need to pay attention to something that, in my research, I discovered that we don't do enough of. And this is literal touch. Literally touch.
We talked about that earlier today.
Right?
Yes.
And feeling that the love, right? Now that's something, we didn't even know each other, but we're embracing, right?
Right.
We've normalized that. But there are literally young people that are never touched, and particularly young boys that have just never been touched. And they were talking about that. There was some research done on how to manage. Matter of fact, Howard Stevenson actually, I think, did this research where they showed two boys. They were on a basketball. They were and they were all the same age. It was like a 13-year-old camp or something, 12-year-old camp. And you know how some of them have had the growth spurt and some of them haven't, right? But they're all the same age, but one dunks on the other one. And now everybody going, whoa, man, he dunked on you. These are all 12-year-olds. And he gets mad and he goes over there and he starts pushing the other guy, the other kid. He's going, why you pushing me, right? So now he's just pushing him. And he's in it, the refs come in, blow the whistles, they pull him apart. And the boy, he's humiliated. So he's pulling away. No. He said that in his research, he could never reduce anger. He looked at it. He said, but he could reduce aggression. And what he learned that reduced aggression was touch. And he showed it in this little boy who was he goes, nah. And one of the refs had it, was in a bear hug. He goes, I ain't gonna let you go. I'm not gonna let you go. You can be mad, but I'm not gonna let you go. And he melted in his arms. He just melted in his arms. That embrace melted that little boy. So touch, just human touch.
For someone who is looking at this, listening to this now, what would you say it's incumbent upon them to do in the face of, I'll just say everything. We don't have to get, but just in the face of everything, for everything that is just, as you said before, hidden in plain view. We saw what was going on. We got the 300 plus pages